Hello guys, how you doing? Back for another studio build update. I think we're looking at just over 6.5 months or so since we officially started the build. So we've come a long way, and if you haven't caught where we've been, how we've got this far, we've got previous blogs and vlogs that we've been doing along the way. Go check them out at prorecproductions.co.uk, where you can get all the links on my Unlimited Productions page on Facebook. So go check them out and see what we've been up to. So what have we been up to these last couple of weeks since the last vlog? We were working last time on the ceiling in the control room, which I'm in now, and that is now done. Plasterboard in here is pretty much complete now. We've got a couple of sections that we need to finally plug up. We've just kept these up, and we've been running, extending some telephone lines and networking cables and things like that. So they're all ready to be sealed off now. We've had a section up here. Literally today I've been running some Cat5 networking cables behind the walls into the live room. And that's for our eventual monitoring system that we're putting in. It's called a Hearback system, and that basically allows all the artists and bands that come in, they can all control their own headphone mixes themselves, which is really handy. It's a nice touch, quite nice to have. So that'll eventually be going in. So that's all ready to go. But yeah, plasterboard ceiling, we're pretty much there now. Well, like I said, we are there. It still needs taping and jointing to get rid of all the joints, to leave a smooth finish. But yeah, apart from that, which we'll do in probably once all the plasterboarding's done, we're there. As you can see, Dave, our electrician, is putting 2 temporary lights for us. As you might have seen on our quite a few videos ago now, we're building these rooms in a larger unit, and the lights for the unit are behind the rock wool and the plasterboard now, so it gets incredibly dark in here, and to carry on the build and to carry on working we needed a bit of light, so he's very kindly put them in for us. So they're going to be where our pendants are going to go eventually on the finish, and they're going to be hanging a little lower than that, but hopefully over a larger centre table. I think we were toying with the idea of having a table on each side of that curve originally, but we decided to go, I think, with a larger table now, with a couple of chairs behind that, so it'll look really nice when it's done. I think Adams mentioned on the blog last week about putting in this curve. It was tricky, and it was tough to get parallel and symmetrical with the centre of the room. But we're really pleased with how it's turned out. It was quite a nightmare. Besides the fact that you had to lift heavy panels of plasterboard above your head and manoeuvre them, into place within a couple of millimeters, and cutting the curves, exactly right so that they fit with all the other features of the room. But yeah, we got there, and it's done, and we're pleased with it. So, and that's the curve that's in the room now. So, inverse to the floor curve. So yeah, it looks pretty sweet. And we've been playing Tetris with the rock wool, just on our downtime, as you do, cleaning up. As you also noticed, we've put in our first door, which was on the blog last week. Super proud of this. It's our first door that we put in, and it went really smooth. Spent a bit of time making sure that it was all right, so plumb and square. But it works how a door should work. It opens and closes. Super fancy. This is a really nice door actually. It's a solid core door, steel reinforced. It's got great acoustic qualities to it, and they're going to be throughout the whole studio. As you can see as well, coming through, we've trimmed the other side of this door. So the reason why we've done this, there's an extra piece of wood on here, is that there's a huge gap between the walls in the studio, because it's all built on double wall system. Each room and floors in each room are completely independent from one another. So the live room's got its own floor and its own walls, and so is the control room, and so is the kitchen isolation corridor. So to make the transition from wall to wall, from room to room, aesthetically pleasing, we needed to fit this trim. So all we've got now is a thin gap, which is going to be sealed with acoustic cork, and all that is just like a silicone that goes down, and it doesn't bridge the gaps between. The reason why we've got two walls is it's the acoustical benefits and the isolation benefits for it, for the transmission of sound between rooms is far superior than having a wall that you'd say in your house where it's just one wall dividing two rooms. It's a lot easier for the sound to vibrate through one wall than it is through two completely independent separate walls that aren't touching. So that's why we've put that in. So yeah, that's a bit of information about that. So we're in the kitchen isolation corridor now, and this has all been framed in, as it wasn't framed in at all last time. So still a bit of work to do, so we've got to plug up some holes and put some temporary lighting in here as well. But we're nearly there with that as well. Just building in some hatches for things like our fuse boards and electric meters and things. That's nearly there. As you might notice, as you might not have noticed, we've got a different kind of plasterboard in here. Because this isn't an acoustically critical room, we're not doing any real recording or listening, critical listening in here. We've chosen to use this is just normal standard everyday residential plasterboard. As you can see in the control room, it's purple plasterboard, and this stuff's called Sound Shield Plus, and it's made by a company called North. They're pretty much the leaders in plasterboards, and it's a special acoustic plasterboard, great for what we're doing here. What's that mean? Well, the standard plasterboard is both boards are the same size, but the standard plasterboard is 25 kilograms. For the same size board of the purple stuff is 35 kilograms. So that extra mass helps dull down the vibration, the frequencies that are trying to transmit through each of the rooms. So that's why we've used this stuff as well in the control room, and that'll be going in the live room as well. So that's pretty much the update on what we've done so far. I don't want to show you too much of the live room. I don't really want to show you the live room today at all, to be honest. We've been cracking on plugging up the rest of the rock wool, and we're going to be mounting quite a special complex system in there. That's our most important room. As in any recording studio, that's where we capture all our sounds. So that's got to be the most pristine, the most quietest place available to us in the whole studio. So a very complex system is going in place to tackle that issue, that acoustic issue. So yeah, we're taking a bit of time on it, getting it right. But I'm going to go into detail about exactly what we're doing in there on the next video, which should hopefully be in a couple of weeks. We seem to be motoring through a couple of things at the minute, so it shouldn't be too long at all. So yeah, I think that's it for today. I don't think there's much else to talk about. Hopefully not. So yeah, like I said, visit our websites and Facebook pages, prorecproductions.co.uk or the Unlimited Productions page for all our previous blogs and vlogs. We've also got a gallery as well on there, which shows us like the photos of the steps that we've been through to get to where we are today. It shows things like the subfloors, the independent subfloors and the walls going up and things like that, and all the little other challenges that we've had on this build. So yeah, go check them out. But in the meantime, I'm going to crack on and carry on doing a couple of things in the live room today. But yeah, hopefully I'll speak to you in a couple of weeks. But yeah, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.